I think because we have undercounted ourselves and underestimated ourselves, we've quite forgotten that we were never a minority. As 1 billion African people on the face of the earth, we can create industries overnight if we decided that we don't wear no underwear we don't make. We don't eat no food that don't come from one of our farms. We don't sleep on no mattresses we don't make. We don't bury our loved ones in any coffins we don't make. We take the coffin industry away from the mafia. We've forgotten our great potential as a people.
Good evening, good morning, good night. Excuse my voice, I'm under the weather. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. This is the Individual Media presenting a few minutes with HRap. We'll be a few minutes, very under the weather, but I made a commitment to you guys, so I have to do it. So today, I'm going, as I do every day, you already know, go to YouTube, hit like, hit share, and you can go to my website, www.theindividual.com. Please and thank you. Give me some traffic on that. And then, you know, as usual, I have a video by the creator Country Boy on One Bike History about our history, which will hopefully motivate you to do something historic or enhance your mental with your history, which will motivate you to do something additional. Now, I thank my parents, John and Dolores, every day. Thank you. And for tapping in, hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend and tell a friend. Please share the link. Please like, comment if you like or dislike the program. Today's episode is Mind Your Business. Now, why is it called Mind Your Business? I got the old man on there. Old people tend to mind their own business. Mind your business, go about your business, right? The reason I call it that is because we, as a community, in my personal opinion, we get easily distracted by things that don't concern us. You know, it's a new slogan out here. Well, it's not new, but it's a slogan that's popularized again called Mind the Business That Pays You. And that's what we need to do. Look, New Year's Eve, first and foremost, Happy New Year. Said I hope nothing but a happy and prosperous new year coming about. Things are going to get better. They're not going to always be bad. You know, a man thinketh, you know that book, A Man Thinketh, yes. Whatever you think is going to happen, that's exactly what's going to happen. You cannot allow the bad times to dictate all times. Now, what I want you to do is this. Realize, go tap in, say on the website, subscribe, share, comment when the program is over, comment, like, dislike, let's have a conversation. Now, as I was saying, Mind Your Business is the name of this episode. I personally feel we get too caught up in America. Oh man, I'm a citizen of the United States, and that's fine. But you're a citizen of the Black community first and foremost. You're a citizen of the working class community first and foremost. You're a citizen of your family first and foremost. And you can pick that up any way you want. Now, New Year's Eve, there was several tragedies. You had one in Utah, you had one in Vegas, and you had a horrendous one in New Orleans, Louisiana, near what is called Sugar Bowl. And if you notice, everybody's scrambling about the security of the Sugar Bowl. What about the security of the people that are in New Orleans, who majority are people from our community? Take it how you want to take it. But this is what I want you to understand. This is why we need to mind our own business. See, in a lot of cases, the mainstream media will distract us with a tragedy. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the people in Congress, the lawmakers of this country are changing rules that will put us at a disadvantage. Brett Kavanaugh, he was not allowed to be on Donald Trump's staff. That's because they're trying to sneak in people even worse than him. We must always keep our eyes on what's going on. Look, is New Year's Eve a horrible situation? Yes, it is. But you already had the incumbent president come out and tell a lie about terrorist attacks and force us to play the role of oppressor. We can no longer put on the pants of the oppressor. No way. We can no longer divide ourselves. I said that last year, but it is important coming up to this dude's and his cabinet. The United States Congress have to approve these people. And if we allow to take our eyes off something that is horrific, but it's no more horrific than those children in Sandy Hook. It's no more horrific than those children in Texas. It's no more horrific than the the animal that shot up that nightclub. There's no more horrific than that church being shot up. And I can go on and on and on about mass shootings and random acts of violence. It's no more horrific. But when you have someone on the other end attempting to tear down what we perceive as democracy and put us in a disadvantage, that's what we need to be focused on. Because guess what? Random acts of violence, they're going to happen. They're going to happen. There will be shootings. There will be random car bombings. There's going to be a whole lot of foolishness going on. We must keep our eyes on the prize. These are the minimal distractions that people in the mainstream media see to buy into because they have a edict. If it bleeds, it leads. Okay, you can leave with that story, but we need to be looking at C-SPAN. We need to be looking at the Financial Times, and we need to be looking at other things so we can know what's on the way. Let's not forget, these are the people who want to disavow the Department of Education, take over the criminal justice system. They want to they want to go for states' rights. So that means we need to be focused on the lawmakers in our state. See, we continue to portray this patriotism. We continue to participate in the American way. Meanwhile, the people who get up and go to work every day, they get screwed. If you disagree with what I'm saying, I'm going to show you this video like I do every day. Country Boy, One Mic History. He's going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. When we go 10 figures, 10 toes down, and then we come back with nothing. The Revolutionary War, we were fighting in it, saved the day. The Civil War, we were fighting in it, saved the day. World War I and II, saved the day. The Korean War, saved the day. Vietnam, we took a total loss. Our people. So what I want you to do is watch this. I'll be back shortly. Because like I said, it's going to be short and sweet today because I feel like trash. But here go the history. I'm HRap. 1 second.
After the United States entered World War II, African Americans created the Double V campaign in 1942 in support of the nation's war effort. The V was World War II's symbol that unified the war effort to achieve victory for democracy over tyranny of the Axis powers. So the Double V campaign called for a victory over fascism abroad and victory over racism at home. The Double V campaign had some limited success, and it helped create some legal and policy changes, but failed to achieve actual equality within the United States military. Around that same time, in 1941, Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed Executive Order 8802, which outlawed racial discrimination in the war industry. It established the Fair Employment Practices Commission to enforce the executive order, but they didn't actually have any authority to regulate employment practices and faced increasing resistance from southern states. Alabama Governor Franklin Dixon refused a government contract to operate cotton mills in state prisons rather than agree to the FEPC's non-discriminatory requirements. And without Southern states' participation, the Fair Employment Practices Committee was doomed. Just 1 year after the creation of the FEPC, African Americans comprised just 3% of all workers. And by 1946, Southern Democrats had eliminated funding for the FEPC. So in June of 1946, the Fair Employment Practices Committee was dead. Despite African Americans' eagerness to fight in World War II, the same Jim Crow discrimination in regular society was practiced in almost every branch of the military. Many bases, training facilities were located in the South, and regardless of regions, all bases had separate blood banks, hospitals, medical staff, barracks, recreational facilities for Black soldiers. White soldiers and local white residents routinely harassed them. And despite this, African Americans joined up in increasing numbers. In 1941, there were fewer than 4,000 African Americans serving in the armed forces, with only 12 officers. By 1945, there was 1.2 million Black Americans serving in uniform, with about 4 million women joining the Women's Army Corps. The Women's Army Corps was a branch of the United States Army created as an auxiliary unit in May of 1942. While serving abroad, the military simply didn't think that African Americans were fit for leadership service or even combat. Both African American men and women were mostly relegated to labor and a service unit. And for the few who did make officer rank, they could only lead other Black men and weren't allowed higher positions. These beliefs not only stalled the use of African American troops in combat, but it also excluded them from higher recognition for their service in World War II. It wasn't until 1993 that the first African American was awarded the Medal of Honor for his service in World War II. While Black troops were initially barred from frontline combat, as casualties started to mount among white soldiers during the final years of the war, the military had no choice but to utilize African Americans as infantrymen, officers, and pilots. In addition to remaining invaluable in supply divisions, from August 1944 to November 1944, the Bread Ball Express, a unit comprised mostly of Black drivers, delivered gasoline, ammunition, food, mechanical parts, and medical supplies to the Third Army in France. They drove up to 400 miles on narrow roads in the middle of the night without headlights to avoid detection. In November of 1944, the 761 Tank Battalion became the first Black division to see ground combat in Europe, join the Third Army in France. The men helped liberate 30 towns under Nazi control and spent 183 days in combat.
As you see, we play a major role in the combating of tyranny, the building of the nation, the securing of all instances, securing of all liberties at all instances. But yet we come back home and we're treated like trash. This is why we need to mind our own business. See, when we see what these migrants, you come out, the soon-to-be president comes out and speaks about the migrants, he's attempting to get you to turn against people. We can no longer fight against the LGBTQ. We can no longer care about the migrants. We can no longer do the things that they want us. We can no longer assume the position of the oppressor. No more of that. No more of that. We need to be worried about the fact that, okay, if this young man who crashed into this building the other day, maybe he suffered from mental health. Maybe he suffered from PTSD, which is even more reason for them never to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. We can't afford that because he needs mental health, and others just like him need the mental health that much needed mental health that they seek or not even aware that they need. The cost of goods. This guy ran his entire campaign on, I'm gonna get lower the cost of goods, and they said I can't do anything about it. But in Europe, they're saying, look, Frito-Lay, keep your stuff in your factories because we don't want it. Your prices are too high. We'll be okay. Again, our entire food supply is poison. Other countries will not import our goods to their country because of the way we handle things. These are the things that, do you understand that we started as a nation, start supporting Black farmers, Black cattlemen, Black industries. As you said at the top of the show, John Henry Clark, we only wore Black underwear. We only slept on Black mattresses. We only buried our people in Black coffins. Do you understand the rate of employment that we could increase? Do you understand the things we will be able to create an entire industry built on us and only us and be a self-sustaining entity, meaning we can afford our own after-school programs without government assistance. We can have employment without government assistance. We would be able to create a nation inside of a nation, and then everybody will come to us. We can no longer sit around and wait for people to do the right thing because you see this 1947. 1947, we're almost 100 years away from that. We're 77 years away from that. That's 23 more years. Understand that. If it hasn't happened in 200 years, trust and believe it is a solid chance that it will never happen. But the one way in a capitalist society that you can ensure that your future is secure is to galvanize inside your own group, your own grocery stores, your own goods, your own supply chain, and then you will be a self-sustaining unit, being able to treat people the way they're supposed to be treated. And some of our brothers and sisters will not want to participate in this, but we can't even concern ourselves with them. If we can get to the point where 65 to 70% of us are believing what we believe, the other 25 are moot points. This is HRap. This is an important message from the End of the Bench Media. Please continue to support, comment, like, share. It is important that you do so. I appreciate the support that you provide for me. I don't know how I end every show. See you tomorrow. 2 fingers, 1 word. Please excuse my nasal sound. I'm under the weather, and I'm out.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why